Years running. It's the OD and the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Now, if you like drama, if you like buzzer beaters, last second shots, oh my goodness moments. It's unbelievable, Carter, those kind of moments. I can't believe what I just saw moments. Enjoy it, Cleveland moments. What just happened, Reno moment? Then last night was your night. Good morning to you on the 28th day of February, what usually is the final day, but not on this leap year. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck in D.C. How you living, boys?
Oh, what it do?
You all right back there?
Oh, I am fantastic.
You like buzzer beaters, Carter?
Oh, I like a buzzer beater.
There were a couple in the country last night. It's a big country, Carter.
It's a big country.
The big country. JJ Buck. You like the hoops last night?
Yes.
Everywhere you look, there was a great ending. And I'm not going to lie to you. It could have gone the Lobos' way, but it didn't. Two games that were tight last night in the conference. They could have pushed the Lobos back into a bye position in the conference tournament as of now. Did not go their way. Wyoming took UNLV to overtime, had a shot in regulation to win. Didn't go, and with Keenan Boone fouled out in overtime, boy, did UNLV take over with ferocity up in Laramie. Rebels win in Wyoming 75-69, but the game of the night last night in the conference was in Fort Collins, where JJ Colorado State better win at some point. They're going to play themselves right out of the tournament. They are 8-8. They've lost 5 of their last 6 in conference, and Nevada went in and got another quad 1 win. Jared Lucas, who is the 9th best free throw shooter in the country, Carter. It's a big country. He missed 3 free throws. Let me set that out. I'll set it up for you. So Jared Lucas misses 3 free throws down the stretch. Like what is he, 92%, something like that?
Something like
one of these great free throw shooters. One of the guys, whoever was the commentator on FS1, like, you just don't put him at the line. It's two free points. Isaiah Stevens comes down and hits a silly bucket to tie it up. And there was 2.6 seconds on the clock for Nevada to go the length of the court when this happened. When they inbounded the ball to Jared Lucas, and Jared Lucas hits a bank shot from just past the half-court stripe, and Nevada walks off the floor in Fort Collins, which, by the way, thank goodness, I didn't realize how much I hated that old Ram floor. Now that it's not there, the old Ram horns on the floor at Moby that are no longer there, they got a new floor. Like last night was the first time I'm so glad they don't have that. Anyway, what an unbelievable end.
It was crazy. Just the way that the Rams came back, Isaiah Stevens clutch, the bucket that he hit, tied game, and you leaving yourself sitting there questioning, what could you have done different?
Here's what it sounded like on FS1.
No timeouts for the Rams. Lucas fires for the win. Oh! Jared Lucas lost his mind from half court, and it's a party for the Wolfpack. A stone cold stunner.
Stone cold stunner, and the dude who misses 3 free throws down the stretch comes and hits that. JJ, so let me just give you what it means. Nevada gets their 6th quad 1 victory. Nevada stays tied with UNLV for 4th place. If those two would have lost, Nevada, certainly could have lost, and Vegas went to overtime, the Lobos would have been tied with the 3 of them. They swept Nevada, got swept by UNLV. There would have been a 3-way tie for 4th, and Lobos would have been back in a position now where they could get off of that bye. Now they got a lot of work to do. JJ, one home team. There were 5 games last night? One home team won. All 4 road teams won in the Mountain West last night.
Which is something that we have not seen a lot of.
No.
And at this point in time, if you need help, well, it means you haven't done.
And 100%.
All you can do is take care of your business. And who took care of their business last night was also San Diego State.
They won at home. They beat San Jose State. The score there last night, 72-64. Not their best win of the year.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. They took care of business. Yeah. Utah State went on the road. They stay in first place.
And they hit a shot at the buzzer to send it to overtime.
To beat Fresno State 77-73, which is crazy.
So they were about to lose at Fresno State.
They were. And Fresno State will be here on Tuesday. That Air Force team that beat the Lobos in the pit on Saturday got blued out of their own built yesterday. Boise State beat them, 79-40 something, whatever the number was, 44, I think, 47, whatever it was, right? Yeah, crazy night in the Mountain West last night. JJ, I don't know how you were watching it. I'm watching it. There's a part of me that, loves watching Steve's and Noodle's teams. And can we throw in the most important piece of the Nevada part last night? They played without Keenan Blackshear.
Yes.
They played without their best or second best player, however you look at him and Jared Lucas. So they went on the road and won at Colorado State. And Colorado State at some point is going to be in trouble. At some point, you got to start winning games. And I know the computers love them, Carter, but at some point, they got to start winning some games.
They'll finish the season with, but it would be hard to go from a 6 seed to out of the tournament.
Well, they've lost 4 of their last 5. They finish up. They got Wyoming and Air Force, and then they're going to play in the first. They're going to probably play in the first round. They're going to have to play on Wednesday. UNLV's played their way into a position where they're in a great spot to not have to play on that first day of the season. Lobos have the toughest schedule left. UNLV finishes out with San Jose State at home. Well, they got it tough too. Then they get San Diego State at home, and they have to go to Nevada. So it's tough for the Rebels too. Lobos just have to win games, man. Lobos just have to win games. So you think Colorado State's in a better spot than Lobos right now?
Yeah.
Just because they're on a better seed line everywhere? On all these months? Yeah. I look at them and I'm not sure why. It's the Creighton win, right? The
Creighton win. They have their bad loss is a quad 3 loss. And this is, I know that
their bad losses.
Like
too.
We should be actually
Wyoming.
embracing this.
It's Wyoming. Yeah.
As a conference. Yes. Instead of like, why is San Diego State so good? Why is Colorado State so good? This is what happens with the SEC, ACC, Big Ten all the time. Yeah. Now it's happening for the Mountain West. Everyone wants to and
it's kind of beautiful.
Push it down some way.
No, I'm not trying to do that.
Like, they should be lower. Why?
I'm
I know you're not, but there's that sense. When people say, why do the computers love them so much? Well, I don't care why the computers love them so much. They do. Yeah, it's good for everyone in the Mountain West Conference.
Yeah. Colorado State's got 2 left. So their bad loss, their quad 3 losses on the road at Wyoming. Their other losses, the UNLV's not quad 3 anymore. That's a quad 2, right? UNLV on the road. Oh, no, that's a home loss. That might be because they're at 80. Is that a quad 3? 80, 81, 83, whatever they are? That could be. We'll see what it does to them. But, man, what a night. And then there was the NBA. And if you like buzzer beaters, Dallas scored with, 3 seconds to go? And Cleveland got the ball to Max Strus, and it sounded like this.
You can't have anybody get an easy shot. Cleveland has that tip by Mobley, but Doncic gets it back. Doncic dumps inside Washington, puts it in. 2 seconds left. The Cavs are out of timeouts. They have to go 94 feet. Strus from midcourt. Oh! Do you believe this? Whoa!
Max Strus, 59 feet away. His was different because they were down by 1, right? Lucas's for Nevada, it was a tie game. Strus's, they were down by 1. I don't know which one you like better. It's if you like college ball. I came in, DC said, I got the Strus shot ready for you. I said, was that the second best ending of the night? You're like, what's the best one? I'm like, I don't know, which one's better?
That's a really good question.
One's at home, one's on the road, one was down, one was tied.
I think the one down. But anytime you go over half court, though, to win a game, that's awesome.
They're almost identical.
They really are. Yeah, same side of the court. Very, very close. You're absolutely right.
A little over 2 seconds left on the clock. Quick inbounds. Dribble, heave.
One was a splash. One was a bank.
And you could hear that splash.
Oh, it sounded nice, too. There's nothing like that sound, too.
Very satisfying.
Nothing like it. What a crazy night in hoops last night, man. If you like close endings, you like that kind of stuff. And my phone, it was 10. So I'm not going to lie, JJ, I fell asleep during the Nevada game. And I woke up with about 2 minutes left. I'm like, whoa, okay, look, we got something. And I watched the end of it, and then my phone started. I'm like, stop. It's like almost 11. I got to work in the morning. It was something else. And we got a lot to do for you today, man. 505-246-0610. Our phone lines are working, so I can give you that. 505-246-0610. Your emails come in. Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com. JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. We're on Twitter. Well, JJ is. And it's not Twitter anymore. It's X. It's _ JJ Buck. And on the Facebook, the OD in the AM. You can watch the show there. Adrian's producing on ProView Networks, Comcast Channel 26, and on our Facebook page and the YouTube channel for ProView Networks. We'll hoops. You got a big game tonight. Ladies have a big one. JJ will get into that a little bit. We got a lot of quarterback news as we're getting closer and closer, I think, to really things shaking up. And Shohei Ohtani made his debut for the Dodgers. So we got a ton to do. When we come back, we can talk hoops if you'd like. They want Dak to be in Dallas for a long time. How are they going to do it? Stephen Jones will let you know, kind of. Next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports App.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Like me, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part,
so that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years.
But it was bonkers last night. Looking forward to the madness. We will be in Vegas. JJ and I will be in Las Vegas for the Mountain West Conference tournament. JJ, the Pac-12's going on. The WAC will be there. The Big West. It's such a good time. And the opening drive will generate from Vegas. Start it 2 weeks from now. Like, you'll be there the early in the week. I'll be there. Is today Wednesday now? So it'll be 6 o'clock in the morning. 2 weeks from now, I'll be there. It'll be 6 o'clock in the morning in Vegas. Want to say thank you to the partners who are making sure that we get there, and we bring you the content every year. Airport parking, easier, quicker, smarter. Enchanted Mechanical, the heating and cooling doctor. Frontier Restaurant, an Albuquerque tradition for more than 50 years. And Coleman Vision, perfect vision and perfect game. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. If you want to get in on the hoops last night, you can. Crazy stuff. 4 out of the 5 road teams win in the Mountain West last night. One of them, Nevada, on a insane half-court heave by Jared Lucas. And JJ, the crazy, there's 2 crazy parts about Nevada last night. And this is, I think they're in. I think that win puts them in. They are solidly in the field. Jared Lucas, who's one of the best top 10 free throw shooter percentage-wise in the country, misses 3 down the stretch, including 2 right before Isaiah Stevens tied it up.
Yes.
And they did it without Keenan Blackshear. I don't know how many teams in this league take one of their 2 best players and go on the road and win a game like that.
Not many with what we've seen on the road this year for the majority of these teams. And it's kind of been that way overall in college basketball. You're always going to win more of your home games, but we've seen just the numbers when it comes to ranked teams, just the home court advantage overall be such a high number across the board this year. And that was a gigantic victory for Nevada. And they were in one of the teams that I was a little slower to come around on.
Yeah.
But you see them, and it's any of those top 7 teams. They have fantastic moments. And you can look at that team and say, this is why they could go in and win the Mountain West Conference. This is why they could win a game in the first round of the NCAA tournament. And you have to find a way at this point in the season. Doesn't matter what's against you, and to get that win without that Blackshear is probably their best player.
I think he is too.
What he does on both ends of the floor because of his size, the challenge he can be offensively and defensively, it's just gigantic.
They were 42nd net before they won last night. They are now 6-4 quad 1. They've got 1 quad 3 loss, 1 quad 2 loss. I think that they are solidly now in the field. I almost don't see a way that they can somehow screw this up. They close with Boise State, Fresno State, Boise State, and UNLV. Fresno at home, on the road at Boise and UNLV. I don't see how they don't get in with 6 quad 1 wins now. I think they are solidly in the field. But we'll talk with Jerry Palm. He'll be with us tomorrow, 8:30 in the morning, and CBS Sports Bracketologist. Just for comparison, Lobos are 4-3 quad 1. They have 2 quad 2 losses, 1 quad 3, and now 1 quad 4 loss. They were 26th in the net. So we'll talk hoops if you want. We're here for you at 505-246-0610. All right, Cowboy fan, what's going to happen with your quarterback? I think he stays your quarterback. I don't know that JJ, I think you're right. In as much as I don't think he's going to ever win, you're going to be who you are. I don't think he's a championship quarterback, but he's a very, very good quarterback. I don't know, unless you got a way better plan, what are you going to do? And so how are they going to sign him? What's his hit? 56 point something million this year. It's the second highest cap hit next to Deshaun Watson in the league, right?
Yes, it's a monster number.
So they've got to restructure his deal.
Yes, they do.
And in order to restructure his deal, they're going to need to extend his deal. He's not just going to go, you know what? I'll take less money. Nobody is, right?
Giving him a longer deal, I think, is the good way to go. And I know people have said we've seen it. It's not changing with Dak Prescott. But I'll take my chances of getting my quarterback's cap hit down, a guy that I can win games in this league, and maybe go invest in the middle of that defense. Continue to find protection for that quarterback. Because there's a lot of teams that do not feel as good at the quarterback position as the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes, I think that's right, and that's why it's so hard. All right, so Stephen Jones what's his title? Is he president, executive vice president? I believe is the term. Jerry's son.
I believe it's COO.
All right, it says executive vice president here. I'll go with COO. Really, what I'll go with is Jerry's son. He's the GM and owner's son. So he was asked, what was this? He was talking to beat reporters. Is that the deal? This is Stephen Jones asked about what are you going to do with Dak? How are you going to get this done?
Well,
Yeah, I'm not sure. We want to get him done. We're going to get him done. Two sides to do a deal. JJ, they had $30 million of salary cap, right?
Well, this is one where, all right, you're going to extend Dak Prescott, bring his number down. You have your starting quarterback. You're going to make sure wide receiver one stays in town and Micah Parsons. And then from there, you need to draft and develop. Because if you want to win in this league, you have to draft and develop.
Yeah. They get this done. I of all the places, I don't think are going to change quarterbacks. I mean, there's a handful that you say, all right, you're solid. They're not changing quarterbacks in Kansas City or Buffalo or the Chargers. And I think this is just as secure as those are right now. I don't think they're as good as they are, but I think this is a secure situation. I think they're going to sign him and they're going to get him done. He's going to make a lot of money. And they're going to be fine. They may win the division again next year. I think they're 7-1 to win the NFC. And I think that's more of where the NFC is than where the Cowboys are, but that's fine. That's all. I mean, that's where they rest. Are they one of your top 3 picks to go to the Super Bowl of the NFC right now? Of the NFC?
Top 3 picks.
Out of the NFC.
Out of the NFC.
I mean, Detroit's in front of them. San Francisco's in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
Are they next to you?
It'd be hard to, with what we just saw, because you're living in the moment. It's 28 years now of them not advancing, and it's easy to clown on the Dallas Cowboys. I'd probably have them 3 or 4.
Who's third? Green Bay, the Rams. Who do you like in front of them? The way it is now, and I know a lot's going to change, right? I mean, the Eagles. Did the Eagles come back? Are they better? It's hard to totally count out the Eagles, isn't it?
Yeah, the Eagles, I have a similar feeling about Philadelphia as I do Dallas, just in terms of, the end was an extended period of really bad football for the Philadelphia Eagles. But I believe those are teams that can go in there and win double-digit games, will be in the playoffs next year. And, for Philadelphia, my biggest thing was just the coordinators and the coaching staff and the lack of cohesiveness late in the season, and you bring in Kellen Moore, who we all believe that's good, like a good NFL coordinator.
Yeah.
Vic Fangio, a really good defensive coordinator. So I think that puts them in position to bounce back for a consistent season overall. And I get it with the Dallas Cowboys, man. So many people, it's Dallas, so they've made up their minds already that this team's never going to win. But when you have Dak Prescott, like 90% of the conversations that we have, it's about teams that it's not good enough at quarterback, who you're drafting at quarterback, who are you getting. Like, you have that piece right, and it gives you the opportunity to focus on everything else. And if that team is better in other areas, they should win playoff games.
But they don't. And are they? I'm not sold that they're as good as. Like, again, we go back to this defense at the beginning of the year. They were the greatest defense.
And I think that's the challenge of, when we get to the end, we can reevaluate and say, well, yeah, maybe they didn't play those really good offenses and they weren't as good as we expected them to be. But now guess what? Spend the offseason getting better linebacking play in the middle, better up front, so Michael Parsons can make more of a difference.
Cowboy fan, where are you? It looks like they're going to try to pay everybody, man. They got to trade. They got to pay Dak. They got to pay Michael Parsons. They got to pay CeeDee Lamb. They got to get better in the middle, as JJ said. He's not wrong. How do you get it done? But Stephen Jones just told you, we got ways. We got ways to get it done. We're gonna get it done. All right. The other part of you guys are Bronco fans. Sean Payton said something about a meme he saw about quarterbacks and what they've got to do next. Basically, if there was ever a doubt, and there wasn't, that Russell Wilson is done, this will erase your doubt. What Sean Payton says about their quarterback situation, that's next. Come on in at 505-246-0610. Broncos quarterback. Who? Opening drive. 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
And we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us, and my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mir here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Kid from half court, banked it in, a 92% free throw shooter, just missed 3 out of 4, was able to launch it in from 53 feet away. And Nevada wins in Fort Collins. A huge win for the Pack. Brutal loss for Colorado State. It would have helped the Lobos a lot if Nevada could have lost and come back to them, but they didn't. I think that puts Nevada in. Vegas wins on the road in Laramie in overtime. Utah State goes on the road to Fresno in overtime and wins. Tight games everywhere. San Diego State only by 8 at home over San Jose State. Welcome to late February, almost March.
Welcome to, at this point in time, if you're having a rough night, find a way to get out of it. The Aztecs did. San Jose State was pesky all night long, and that's 2 pesky games. San Jose State almost beat the Aztecs. They had the lead at the end. Aztecs
they beat them last year in San Diego.
Yeah, just there's just certain teams that make you uncomfortable.
Yeah,
that just have a different confidence when you're playing them. For some reason, the Spartans, they rise to the occasion with the Aztecs, but it's about finding a way. It doesn't have to be pretty, even if you're a double-digit favorite. The Aztecs were 22.5-point favorites.
Ask Utah State. Darius Brown had 21 points. They had to go to overtime in Fresno. That's a Fresno State team that just got blued out of their own built by San Diego State. It was, what was it? The first half was 42-16. Yeah, 42-16. And then here comes the first place team in this league, and they take them to overtime. And Great Osobor had 21-11. Darius Brown had 15-11, and it was overtime. The Aggies and Boise State tied for first place. San Diego State won half game back of the 2 front runners as we go down to the last basically three game slots, right? You got this weekend, next week, and the following weekend, and then we go to conference tournament, and here we go. Ladies go tonight, JJ. You got a big one for the ladies tonight. San Diego State's in town in the pit.
It's that race for second place, and really finish second or third place on the opposite side of UNLV, who's already locked up the regular season title, third straight regular season title for the Lady Rebels. But New Mexico, an opportunity to get the split with San Diego State comes into town. Got the Lobos, Broncos 10-5, Aztecs 9-6.
This is big then. I mean, it also needs to stay off of that bye.
Yeah, stay in the top 5, especially because San Diego State and Wyoming both 9-6, rounding out top 5. Colorado State lurking there 8-7, along with Nevada. And at this point in the season, everything is gigantic, and especially when you're tied, teams are only a game back. Looking ahead, you want the momentum, want the seeding. Well, you play for. March is a few days away.
Yeah. But it feels like March already, I'll tell you that right now. It just does. All right, March, April, quarterback time. Build your roster time. Free agency time. Draft time. I don't think there's any doubt, right? I mean, that Russell Wilson, as much as he sits there and says, I want it to be in Denver, there's, I don't know, 5% chance he's coming there. He's not coming back, right?
He gone.
Right? That's it. Broncos coach Sean Payton says he saw a meme recently. And in the meme, there was a guy wearing a jersey. And on the back of the jersey, it had a bunch of quarterbacks' names crossed off. You can pick the names that you want. Quote from Payton, our job is to make sure the next one doesn't have a line through it. Yeah, I think that's fair. He said the decision on Russell Wilson's future with the Broncos will come in the next 2 weeks. Quote, I haven't heard anything from any teams. So we'll see. That's George Payton, the general manager, asked about trade entrance. I love when I hear them say, well, we'll decide here soon. They've decided, they just don't know where he's going and how they're going to somehow get out of this. And the answer is they're going to have to release him and someone's going to pick him up on the cheap. Nobody's coming in and saving the Broncos on this. Say, you know what? Let me trade for him, and we'll pick. Like the answer is, they're going to have to release him before they have to pay him this big roster bonus, and somebody's going to pick him up on the cheap, and they're going to pay his salary.
They already owe him
$36 million,
$90 million in the next 2 years.
It's insane.
They know they're going to have to eat it.
Yep.
Move on. Now the where do they go? After
I hear
Russell
everything,
Wilson?
man. I hear J.J. McCarthy. I hear Kirk Cousins. I hear Bo Nix. I hear everything, and I think it's all on the table. Probably
It is all on the table. Even with salary cap increase, I find it hard to figure out how you could bring someone like Kirk Cousins in.
I don't see how you can
and make that work with trying to build a team, because the Broncos, as we've seen, are not a quarterback away from anything at this moment in time. The one I am intrigued about is Bo Nix. The more I've listened about him, of that second tier of the quarterbacks, I'm not a JJ McCarthy.
I'm not. So you and I are on the same page.
I look at JJ McCarthy and I'm just seeing another, like Kenny Pickett, just another guy,
Mac Jones
type of deal.
Yeah.
Not buying that at 12, and I think it's almost one of those situations where Denver could just have to eat it.
Go with Jared Stidham.
Be starting Jared Stidham. Sean Payton thinks he's the next thing.
That's fine. All right. I'm with you on the Bo Nix over. I even think Michael Penix better than J.J. McCarthy. I'm not sold on J.J. McCarthy. I'm just not. Not that I'm 100% sold on Bo Nix either. If you're going to ask me one or the other, I like Bo Nix. 505-246-0610. Leo, you want to talk Lobo Hoops. Good morning, Leo. How you living?
Hey, good morning. I didn't get a chance to listen to you guys Monday and Tuesday, but I don't know what. I've never seen the Lobos the way they played against Air Force. I mean, they didn't care. I mean, to me, the way I was, my perception, their attitude just, they didn't care. It started with Colorado State. I noticed they didn't have, they won, but they weren't excited. They just didn't, in my eyes again, they just didn't look like they wanted to play. And then it really showed against Air Force. And, I mean, what's happening is there turmoil and among the group, the coaches, True Washington, he's lucky he didn't get a technical.
For what?
But, I mean, he knows.
Oh, when he threw the ball to
that he knows you're not supposed to do what he did, throw the ball up in the air, but he's taking after his sidekick, what's his name?
Jalen
House, right. House has been doing that for 3 years. And, Washington and then did that. And the coach didn't take him out.
Why would?
There's something's going on, man. I've never, in my 30 years looking at the Lobo games, I've never seen them play like they played against Air Force, man.
It was a bad one. No, it was a bad loss, Leo, and appreciate the call and thanks. So a couple things. I don't know that they don't care. I'm not going to buy they don't care. I don't believe that. I think that they, and you asked me the other day.
House didn't even play, and it's still his fault.
Well, House was up the last 17 minutes, but he influenced the guy who did play because he threw and he threw the ball. I mean, like he didn't launch it; he threw tossed it over his head. I'd have called BS if they called a technical foul back. It was a call, and he threw the ball up in the air. I don't think there needs to be a technical on that, and I would have taken, and I've told you this since Monday, and I still believe this. I'd have taken House's passion or whatever you guys want to call it, and in the last 6 and certainly in the last 3 to 4 minutes of that game, and I think it would have been different. I think House makes the difference if he's on. I just do. Now I don't know that for a fact. That's my opinion. Is the game different if he's in there? I don't know, man. I mean, Nevada just won without Keenan Blackshear on the road, right? Their best player. All I know is you took a guy who might be the best defensive player in the league, off the floor. A guy who, and look, like Kenny said yesterday, he had 4 fouls. He still has 4 fouls.
Yeah, he never got an opportunity to get his 5th foul. This is because of what the Lobos did the first time around. It's hard for a lot of people to look at that game and go, how do you not win it by 30? And when you
win it by 1.
Yes, but and that's my thing. It's getting in game moments. It's about finding a way at the end. At some point in time, it goes out the window about, oh, we're going to try to win this game by 20. It's just finding a way to win. It's like San Diego State last night. At this point in time, it just has to be good enough. It doesn't have to be beautiful.
That's my point.
You're
I'm win
past
by
that
1.
point.
Yeah.
And for the Lobos, they got caught in a game where Air Force is a team that when they're confident and in rhythm, they're a challenge. And you saw it earlier the year when they won at UNLV, when they blew the doors off the Rebels. So they're a team that can get you. Is it frustrating? Do you need to be, as a team, do you want to be questioning yourself at this point in time? Absolutely not. But that's also sport. You find yourself in a moment of, oh, these other dudes are balling today. How are we going to respond? Up 5, 4.5 minutes to go. You have to find a way to win that game. You didn't.
At home against a team that's not that good.
Against a team that's not that good. That's not changing. That's not. The salt is there, but when you look for one exact answer, there's not one. They did not go in there unprepared. They practiced.
I agree.
Coaches told them.
I agree.
And sometimes you get caught up in a game where you have to have the ability to adjust to the unexpected.
You asked me yesterday, or Monday maybe, do I think they coasted? And I said, yeah, I do. I think they coasted in the first half. Yeah, I think they went out there. And that again, there's a difference between not being prepared and not caring and having human nature coming off a big win over a ranked team in your building with the next one, going to Boise. At that point in your mind, we're going up there to play we got a chance at the league championship. We get by this team. This team is 1-12 in league. They've lost 7 in a row. We ran them off their court. I just think human nature is, and coaches are telling you, look what they did to UNLV. Look what they did. They went in there and beat them by 34. They can shoot, and you're like, yeah, coach, I know you got to tell me this. And it's just human nature.
You go out there thinking, all right, the shots are going to fall, and we're going to get the lead at home. Here we go.
Yeah, so do I think they coasted, part of the first? I do. And then Air Force got their attention, and they couldn't scramble back in. To Leo's point, now, I've never seen something. He said 30 years, I've never seen something like that. I'm not sure I've seen a loss like that with what was on the line, with as important as that was, the disparity that I really feel the disparity in the two teams at home. No, I mean,
we've seen losses like that
on the road
at Air Force.
Yeah.
There's Kendall Williams actually posted about it on Saturday. Hey guys, remember we lost by 1 up there and we were the 12th ranked team in the country.
That's right. But not like this.
Yeah.
And when it matters, and especially in late February, with everything on the line, with your resume as I don't want to say thin, just
life on the bubble.
Yeah, with no room for error. Right now, I still think you're in right now. I still think you're in and you still have your chance. But to his point now, is there inner strife? I think that's something I've been asked this, JJ. I can't tell you how many times this week. What's the deal with House and Pitino? And I don't know. I'm not going to even sit here to pretend to know. You and I both looked at that video at 34 seconds when Donovan Dent's shooting a free throw, and House is walking over to check in, and Pitino waved him back. And he turned around, put his head down, and went back. And we've had 2 callers came in and said that when Pitino asked Jalen to go in, House kind of put his palms up like, oh, now you want me like something along, give him some attitude. I didn't see it, you didn't see it, but we had 2 callers tell us that. So is there something there? I don't know, man, but I am going to tell you this, and I firmly believe this, and I think you do too. If you're going to make a run over the next 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 weeks, Jalen House is going to be part of it.
Yes, Jalen House has helped you get to this point in the season. And this is one we might not know for a while.
Yeah.
Until,
it's all over.
He told this person, I heard it from that person, this is what went down in Air Force.
But
at this point in time, that team has to erase that. And that's the difference. This is what we talk about. It's the emotional roller coaster that fans are going to ride. And I told you this was going to simmer.
No, you're right.
All week.
You're right. You're right. You said it would start to turn on Wednesday. It's Wednesday.
Well,
it hasn't turned yet.
Hasn't quite turned yet.
Yep.
Because things change day to day. And when you don't have a game, when you're not out there bouncing back, you're seeing Nevada win, and we're talking about
without
the movement, back and forth, road win.
Yep.
They're moving up. They're solidifying their position, and you're just sitting there thinking back to Air Force.
Do you think I'm wrong on the House thing, though? I mean, if they're going to make a run, he's going to be a part of this.
Of course. There's
has to
zero
be.
debate. People are like set on his attitude, but that he means just as much to that team as anyone else in that starting.
Do you think I'm wrong? And again, I'm not. Look, coaches make decisions, and he's smart. He knows way more. Let me just. I want to preface this. No, and please, I just want to make this clear because, and I don't mean to cut you off. I'm not out here second guessing Richard Pitino. Richard Pitino knows way more basketball than I do. He is a way better basketball coach than I'll ever be. But I firmly believe that game's different. If House comes back in, I don't care at the 6-minute mark, the 4-minute mark, the 3-minute mark. I think he makes the difference in that game.
Yeah, it's all we can do is assume right now because there wasn't a straight answer of he was hurt or I was sending a message, whatever happened. House was sitting on the floor at the end of the bench for 17 minutes in that game.
All right, Manny, stay there. We got to take this break. We're super late. 505-246-0610. Hit you when we come back. And you guys want to talk about Lobos and Mountain West? We're here for you. It was a big night in the league last night, and even bigger Saturday coming up on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Cross-Camara here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
This league has been so fun. Derek Brown, Utah State. Darius hits the 3-pointer to send that game in overtime up in Fresno last night. Stigler just gave me, why don't coaches foul? And I guess Justin Hudson from Fresno State said we tried to foul, but just couldn't. And so they hit it, and boy, Utah State wins on the road. 505-246-0610. Great stuff last night. Nevada gets a half-court shot from Jared Lucas. They win at Colorado State. 4 of the 5 road teams win last night. Manny, good morning. Thanks for holding. You're on the Sports Animal.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
How's everything going there?
Good, Manny. How you living?
I'm doing all right, man. Doing all right. Hey, JJ's right. Life on the bubble. I mean, do I think the Lobos can beat any team in the country? Probably. But we can also lose to just about anybody, too, which showed on Saturday. I was there, so it was really tough to watch. I think they did coast in the first half, and then they put themselves in a hole they just couldn't get out of in the second half. So, tough loss. But now, are we playing ourselves in or are we playing ourselves out? Right now, we're playing ourselves out of the NCAA. You can't leave the decision to put us in by these guys on the East Coast. They're just not going to put us in. They'll put a
8-9 SEC team.
A Dayton, team, or even like a Big Ten team that's 15-15 in over a 22-23 win team in the West. So that's just life on the Southwest, life in the West. So got to take care of business. One at Boise, and we got to beat Fresno State at home. Oh my God, can't win games at home anymore. But hopefully we'll bounce back. Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
have a good one. Go Lady Lobos.
Yeah.
Go V.
See you. Big one for the ladies tonight. They're at home against San Diego State. JJ will have that call tonight here on the Sports Animal. The Fresno State game's not negotiable at this point.
Non-negotiable.
I didn't even consider the Air Force game to be non-negotiable. I just consider I will. I don't have to play. But I consider it a win. And let me just tell you something. When I say I think they coast, I'm not mad at them for coasting. I just think it's I think San Diego State coasted last night against San Jose State. They were down in the first half too. They were down by 5 points the first half. They only won by 8 against a team that's 2 wins in conference. I just think it's natural.
What do you say, Jeff?
The other guys have coaches. They have scholarships. They have video equipment.
They might not have the same NIL money, but they got a scholarship.
Yeah, no, those guys. Look, their coaches get paid. Those guys are on scholarships. They're getting NIL money. Those guys, yes.
It's one. When you start talking things like this, people just all they hear is excuses. No, it's a reality, man. It's sport. You can go in thinking you're 18.5-point favorites, as the Lobos were. The Aztecs were 22.5-point favorites last night, and then you get yourself caught in a game. And it's how do you pull out of that moment? And I do think looking at the second half, this Air Force game it's going to be the one everyone looks back on. They fall on their face, can't compete on the road. Even if they beat Fresno State, but you go and you lose first round of the Mountain West tournament, you're out of the NCAA tournament. And then you come back to this game. And then it's going to be about, were they not prepared? Is it on the coaching staff? Were the players not listening? Is there turmoil in the locker room? Jalen House not being on the floor? With all that, if you're Richard Pitino, whatever was going on between him and Jalen House, he's sitting there looking at his team in not the best game, not the game they wanted to be in, up 5 with 4.5 minutes to go. They're thinking, all right, we're finding a way to get out of here. And then they didn't. And then
yeah,
here we go.
I think hopefully, I'm going to assume everything's fine between Jalen House and Richard Pitino. I'm just going to assume it was in the moment game thing, whatever happened. And Richard probably was trying to make a point and figured, we're up by 5 and we're going to win this game. But you laid out a scenario, JJ. If they beat Fresno, lose the 2 road games, have to play on Wednesday. Let's say they beat San Jose State or Air Force, and then probably have to play, as it sits now, play San Diego State on Thursday and lose that game. They're 23-10. I'm queasy. I'm queasy come selection Sunday.
Someone's going to still bid.
I promise.
But there's going to be a couple of teams that get hotter than you are at the end of the season.
Bubble teams, yes.
And you start falling down that seeding list.
Colorado State in trouble too. They're 20-9, 8-8. They're below the Lobos. They've lost 4 of their last 5.
It's not about conference standing.
I know they're 20-9. They got the 1 win versus Creighton, but if they lose on Thursday too, they better win a game or 2. They close out. They got 2 left. They got Wyoming and Air Force. They again, non-negotiable. It's a lot going on, and you're talking about it. 505-246-0610. Let's make a deal. Chiefs figured out what they want to do with one of their big defensive free agents. How are they going to handle that? Tell you next. Big one. An opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom. Boom.
With three-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bach.
Oh, yeah, buddy. March started early. I mean, you don't have to pay your rent yet. You still have 2 days, well, today, tomorrow, and then the first is the day after, on Friday. But you don't have to pay your rent yet. But, boy, the madness has begun. Crazy finishes. I mean, NBA last night, Max Strus hits a 59-footer. Cleveland wins at the buzzer. He throws in a 3-footer when they're a 59-foot three-pointer when they're down by one. They beat the Dallas Mavericks 121-119. And then in the Mountain West last night, just an insane ending. Jared Lucas, a 92% free throw shooter for Nevada. Nevada played for the first time in 2 years without their point guard, Keenan Blackshear. They go to Colorado State, road game. Colorado State needs it. They both need it. They're both, everybody needs it at this point. And Nevada controls the game, JJ. They let it slip away down the stretch. Lucas, a 92% free throw shooter, misses 3 of 4 free throws down the stretch. Isaiah Stevens hits. I mean, I lost the whole thing is the Isaiah Stevens shot to tie it, huh?
Yes. Just mid-range from the right side. Full sprint down the court. Bang.
So there's 2.6 seconds to go, and if you're just joining us, well, here's the whole sequence. We'll join it. This is FS1. This is
no timeouts for the Rams. Lucas fires for the win. Oh!
From half court.
Lost his mind from half court, and it's a party for the Wolfpack. A stone cold stunner.
A stone cold stunner on FS1 last night, and it was that, and so what that did for Nevada, JJ, it keeps them in contention for a league championship. It puts them in a position where they are 10-5, a half game behind San Diego State. They're tied with UNLV for fourth place, and still in one game out of first, and still in contention. And they still got games left that they can go out and try to make something happen. They got Fresno State, Boise State, and UNLV left. And Steve Alford's team, he said Craig Neal drew up the play. Now, I did say in the post game, and JJ, you do this. At the ladies' practices, they do half court shots. Not as much.
Not as in depth as Nevada does it.
Well, this was always the thing when Alford and Craig Neal were here. Now, and both were really good players. Steve Alford, and for those of you who aren't of that era, and I know you look at Alford and go, Steve Alford was a great player. Not a good player. Steve Alford is a gold medalist, a national champion. He was Mr. Basketball in Indiana. Steve Alford was a great player. And Craig Neal was a very good player. And so at the end of practices, they do half-court shooting contests. And in his post-game interview, Alford made it very clear that Jared Lucas can beat Colorado State with a half-court shot, but they still can't beat the coaches, that the coaches are 17-12 against the players in half-court shots in practice. He made that very clear in his post-game press conference yesterday. It's something, man. It is something. All right, let me give you this real quick, and then we'll go to the phones. Because I use this going into the break. It's deal time in the NFL. The salary cap's gone up $30 million. And the Chiefs have two of their best players on defense to sign, Chris Jones and L'Jarius Sneed. And ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, the former Albuquerque Tribune reporter, reports that the Chiefs have informed L'Jarius Sneed, the cornerback, that they are going to franchise tag him if the two sides don't agree on a long-term deal. Now, Kansas City is willing to trade Snead off of that tag. This is a guy that was a fourth-round pick back in 2020. He's got 40 career passes defensed, 10 interceptions. He's really, really good. So they're going to tag him, but they're willing to trade him, which that surprised me a bit. That they're willing to get rid of him.
Yeah, and that's the challenge for Kansas City is if he's not happy without a long-term deal. And this is a guy that could recoup second, first-round value for potentially. You don't usually see that in the cornerback market, but he is a lockdown corner.
That's why I'm not trading him.
And I wouldn't want to trade him. Yeah. And I think with L'Jarius Sneed, that a gesture like that from Kansas City makes you feel good. Like, hey, they want to do right by me, but I'm even on the franchise tag. I'm not wanting out of Kansas City right now.
All right, Edward, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Edward.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Greetings.
Hey, that was a great call on that Nevada. One of the greatest calls I've ever heard at the end of a game was Kevin Harlan when LeBron dunked in KG's face, and he said, "With no regard for human life."
With no regard for human life.
One of the best calls ever. Yeah. Hey, recognition is in order. When the phones went down, Jeff, JJ, and Don Corleone, DC, to find a creative solution to get to callers to put down their number, and you call them back. Well done. Yeah, Out of chaos, you can create. Yeah, there's creativity, and I commend you for that. That's why I love your guys' show, among other things. Real on the NBA, I want to share this regarding Denver's amazing player, Jokic. He should be winning his fourth straight MVP. There was a bias last year. They didn't want him to win 3 straight MVPs since Larry Bird did it in the 80s, who was also amazing. Embiid should call him and relinquish that MVP trophy because he was the MVP last year. Barring a major injury, nobody has an answer for him and the Nuggets, and they're going to go back-to-back unless he gets hurt. He is by far the best player in the NBA right now, and I'm not sure it's close. There's an amazing best shooter of all time that plays for Golden State, and even he's created separation there. I think he's 9-0 the last 9 games against the Warriors and the Lakers. And I think Jokic is getting into a territory, if he wins another championship and which should be 4 MVPs, you're talking about some of the top 10 players of all time, Olajuwon, Duncan, Shaq, Larry Bird. You're talking he's at that level. And I think he's going to pass some guys in the next few years of his career. I'm a body of work guy. Guys, let me just ask you a question. The last 2 years of Lobo basketball, and I'm a huge fan of their coach, and he's completely changed the culture. Last year, when they started 14-0, would you have guessed at the end of the year that they would have finished 6th in their league, missed the NCAA tournament, and just had a downfall that was just unpredictable? This year, going back probably 6 to 7 weeks ago, would you ask yourself, would they be a border team, right, a bubble team that still needs some key wins to get in? I would say the answer is a resounding no. And it's not an indictment on the program. It's not an indictment on the coach. It's just a simple question. If you look at the body of work, the answer to both those questions is no. And here we are, So I do think that they can get into the tournament, and we'll see what happens. But I just want to pose that question to you and your callers. Have a great day.
See you. No, when they were 14-0, I mean, you and I both. I mean, we were planning on the NCAA tournament, right?
Yes.
I mean, they were 14-0. They were
same feeling last week. Hey, should we start talking about maybe doing something about this?
No, DC, you weren't here at that point. They were the last unbeaten team in America last year. They were the last team to lose in Division I men's basketball. They were 14-0, and they were rolling fools. They won at St. Mary's. They had good wins, and then they went in conference. And to his point, they finished 6th and went out on Thursday in the NCAA tournament. And he's not the first person who's brought up the similarity. Does it feel that way? It doesn't yet, because I still think this team's going to find a way to get into the NCAA tournament. I do. But I'm going to tell you, if they lose these 2 road wins, and I think they're going to win in Boise, by the way. I think there's going to be a turnaround. I think they're going to win in Boise. But if they don't win one of those 2 road games, they go out on Thursday, and you're 23-10, and have one good road win,
they're not getting getting in. There's too much that goes on with the other bubble teams. Some will fall, some will get good. Someone's going to steal a bid somewhere.
There's going to be one or two stolen bids. Yeah. And hell, UNLV could be one of them.
Yeah.
Right. So the reality is the reality. No, I when they were, would you ask me when they were 14-0 or whatever it was, did I consider they weren't going? No, I thought they were an NCAA tournament team, as did I, the whole time. And I still kind of do. I think they're an NCAA tournament team. JJ, I am so interested in this game on Saturday now. How do they bounce back? And I guess I didn't think about it much all weekend until people started talking about it on Saturday. I don't think there's a rift with House and Pitino. I just don't. I haven't heard anything, but how House responds on Saturday is going to be a really, 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 really big deal for this team.
It is, and I'm not expecting a bad response.
Nor am I.
I think they could lose this game, and then people are going to say it's a bad response. But it's the fact that Boise State is really good.
Boise State right now, at home. And I'm gonna dig this up for you because
Nevada might have that could go down as potentially the best win in conference.
The Nevada win
without Keenan Blackshear going into Colorado State when they came.
So let me ask you, that doesn't matter as far as the computers, right? They don't care that your guy was down, right?
Yes, it's
okay. His Boise State lost at home.
Like they'll discuss
Utah State beat them up there.
Like if you're a team that
go to Vegas,
your star player is hurt at the end of the year, they might have that in discussions
in the room.
Back. Yeah, when they're putting the bracket together.
Yeah. But Broncos will go in having won 4 in a row. Now, who they beat? Fresno State, San Jose State, Wyoming, and Air Force. Before that, they lost to Colorado State and Utah State, JJ. So this is really interesting because they've won 4 in a row, but they beat the bottom of the league. Boise State closes out. You want to talk about how tough it is for the Lobos. Boise State closes out home versus New Mexico, home versus Nevada at San Diego State.
Even a harder schedule.
2 of them are home, though.
Yeah.
They got 2 home games. I love the way that the league set this up, that these games are mattering down the stretch.
Because they handle their business.
Yeah. I keep them coming. 505-246-0610. We'll do the Red Zone at 9 o'clock this morning. And when we come back, I'm going to get you you guys are in a lot this morning. What you guys are talking about, and I want to get in on the Kirk Cousins conversation as well with Vikings and what they're going to do, because I'm not as certain as I was maybe 2 days ago that he's going back to Minnesota. It's the opening drive. Keep them coming. The number to get in is 505-246-0610. Thank you for being with us today. I know you got a lot of options, and you choose to be with us every day here on The Sports Animal. We are appreciative. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 at The Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Murcia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spell, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
AnimalABQ.com, JJ at SportsAnimalABQ.com. Jax's reply to Crusher. Jeff, I don't think anyone's surprised by Louisville basketball's collapse, given their history for decades of peaking in January and fading. If the NCAA tournament was played in January, they'd have a bunch of banners hanging in that old dump, and Jason wouldn't have that tired talking point. It's from Jack. Have they collapsed? I'm not ready to call it a collapse yet. Now, they don't get in the tournament. I guess we're going to have that conversation.
Has there been a history of collapse?
Well, the February thing is
the February thing's there.
Yeah.
But the Alford era, most of those teams that just got to the NCAA tournament, and then
that was in March. Yeah, when they would lose to Harvard or they would lose. Yeah. I guess I'm just not ready to call it a collapse. They lost Air Force, man. It was a bad loss. Really bad loss. I guess I'm not ready. Let's see how they respond. Text line says JJ's giving Dak way too much credit. He's good enough to rack up yards and stats against crummy defenses, but he's not that good. I guess to the texter, the answer, the question right back is, all right, so what do you do?
And this is the challenge with quarterback conversation in the
Yeah.
NFL, is if you're not elite, everyone's like, well, you got to be ready to move on. You got to do this. You got to do that. You have to find a way to compete. In Dallas, I'm not arguing with you that they've been disappointing in the playoffs, but you have a quarterback that can get you to the postseason. You can analyze that roster and say, do whatever you do, cap numbers, bring it down. It's still about drafting players and getting production out of those players. That's why Kansas City is so good. It's because they have the best quarterback in the game. And then you look, L'Jarius Sneed was a 4th-round pick. Isaiah Pacheco was a 7th-round pick. And so you have those avenues to still get better. Even with a quarterback like Dak Prescott, people think's not that good. Then I'm saying, okay, you ready for
what?
Bo Nix? Are you ready for Michael Penix?
And there's some people who are screaming yes, by the way.
Okay.
You know that, right? And that is the great unknown. And the odds of Bo Nix or Michael Penix being better than Dak Prescott, I would say, are about 20%. Dak Prescott was a 3rd-round pick.
To me, he was a 4th-round pick.
4th?
Yes.
Okay. So, I mean, that even further exemplifies what I'm saying.
Is
4th?
Yes, he was.
Okay. I believe you.
Kid from Mississippi State.
Yeah, I believe you.
And it kind of comes down to when we have these discussions about quarterbacks, it's, everyone compares them to Patrick Mahomes. Well, if that's the case, then everyone should just hang it up and never play football.
Fair enough.
Like it is, right?
I mean, yes.
Well, if you don't, how are we going to beat
He's not
him?
Mahomes.
Okay.
All right, well, then we're not going to show up.
Then let's just stop trying.
Let's give these guys money and play Madden.
Because how much
What
outside of Patrick Mahomes, when you look at these other teams,
Yeah.
right? It's still a team game. And for as much credit or not credit people want to give Brock Purdy, you have a good quarterback, then invest in a team. And that's where Dallas is. Dak Prescott's a good quarterback.
I agree.
He is. So when you have that locked down, focus on trying to put the best team you possibly can around.
There's 20 guys in the world that you would say are good or better at that position in the NFL. There are. The rest would be Desmond Ridder, Russell Wilson, Marcus Mediocre. Yeah. I know. All right, text. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying, because in the moment options now, like this, the Cowboys are not a franchise that's just going to cut bait and bring a rookie in.
What about Kirk Cousins?
Kirk Cousins, what has
I'm
Kirk
with
Cousins done that's better than Dak Prescott?
He does the same thing. I'm with you on that one. I'm with you there. You and I are
But
on the
it's
same page.
because we've seen it.
But people are screaming about it.
And we go, well, we can't win.
Yep.
You get to the playoffs, you can't win. You got to move on. I don't think that's the case.
But
at
isn't
all.
it an issue, though? I mean, honestly, and I heard yesterday, well, they didn't lose to the Packers because of Dak Prescott. It was their defense. Okay, they got down 40-something teen. Yeah, their defense gave up all those points, but he's the one who didn't score points to turn the ball over. Like he's got to eat it as much as the defense does. You can't. And look, their defense was garbage that day, and that defense with Micah Parsons and all these guys that are so great, right? They were horrible. Dak wasn't good either until he racked up huge numbers. Well, look at his numbers in the playoffs. No, stop it. He racked up huge numbers in garbage time in the fourth quarter. Yeah. He has to eat it as much.
He can eat it, but that doesn't mean I'm moving on.
No, I agree with you. But why is it you agree that there is a trend, history, give me the word that you prefer, that when they hit the playoffs, he's not that damn good?
I think the Packers loss was the worst one at home.
Yes, that was Air Force.
Against a
It's
young
not Air
team.
Force. That's not It's not Air Force.
But we're going to be mad because he can't beat the 49ers in playoffs.
But he can beat the Packers, the youngest team.
That's the one that I get it.
And they weren't competitive.
Going to get over that.
Yeah.
But if I'm building a franchise, it's not easy to find good quarterback. You just said it, and I have one of those guys.
And that's why
Kirk Cousins off an Achilles is not better.
No, he's not
than
there.
Dak Prescott.
I'm not advocating.
Jerry Jones is not going to sit there and say, "Yeah, we're just going to insert a second-tier rookie quarterback to do it."
I'm not arguing with you on that. And that's why I find it you're in such a tough spot, right? Because you've got a good quarterback who I don't think is good enough to win. Look, we sit here the weeks before these games, okay? We got this list, and here's 8 teams playing, and who's got the most to lose, and who's got right. And I hate those conversations because they all got a lot to lose. It's the freaking playoffs, man. Everybody's got so much to gain because everybody's legacy is on the line, everybody's quarterback or season's on the line. Like, I hate those conversations. But since we have those conversations, this is what the result is, right? When we go into that, who's got the most to lose? Dude, that guy, if Jordan Love lost that game, we'd still be going, well, the Packers have a great future because Jordan Love had a good year, and they're young, and Jordan, right? But now, Jordan Love won a playoff game and damn near won another one the next week and was up on the 49ers. And so Jordan Love had so much to gain. Well, the other side of it is this, man. When they continuously get beat in the playoffs with these teams that are supposedly so damn talented, and your common denominator is your quarterback, that's why we have these conversations. But I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not ditching him for Kirk Cousins or someone else. Give me a better solution, and I don't have one. And so I'm
Justin
with you.
Fields.
No, he's not, and that's why I agree with you. Yeah, you got to find a way to sign him and keep him, and hope that he can fight through this and get better.
I hope he can
but
build
I've
a football
seen
team.
6-7 years of this around. But isn't that what I'm told every year? They got the most talent.
What you're told is the narrative that it's the Cowboy, and we after the fact, we can look at it.
I say that every year.
Yes, you do, and that's what I'm saying is I know
good.
I have the quarterback.
Yeah.
It's not easy to win double-digit games in the NFL.
I agree with you. And they're
to say
playing
that they're not
division,
that darn good.
They're not that darn good. To tell me the roster is as good as everybody tells you, they're just not.
Well, it's not. So you have the quarterback. Make the rest of the roster better. That's what you can do now.
I think we're saying the same thing, coming at it from different angles.
I get it. Dak was not good. He was playing from behind. He's throwing interceptions in the playoffs. That whole team was bad. But I don't have to fix the quarterback position. I have to fix the rest of that roster right now.
I think you have more urgent issues than the quarterback position. I'm not in love with my quarterback position. It's like, you know what? I got a nice car, dude. It's got 129,000 miles on it. It's got a heated and cooled seats.
But if you make that team better
fix
around Dak
stuff.
Prescott, and the whole, if he becomes a game manager, does that not?
Tell me why they can beat the hell out of everybody during the regular season and they fade like that in the playoffs every year. Is that McCarthy? Is it Dak? Is it? What is it?
And that's why
Because
I thought
I've now got a track
this
record.
would be a fascinating case study of the postseason and the dude that was out there.
Yeah.
And Bill Belichick. Would he have been someone that helps you at the end?
And maybe, but you didn't make the move.
Yeah.
So here you are. JJ, I'm not arguing with you. He's a good regular season quarterback. Dude, and you want him on your fantasy team, and he'll help you win games. Unless you're on my team, because it doesn't matter how good you are, you're not going to make the playoffs. I don't know, man. Jordan Love advanced past him, and Josh Allen did. And I that team was so good and was winning so many games. What happened when the pressure was on? We give the quarterback all the love all the time. And the common denominator has been this quarterback in the postseason, and he was not good in the postseason. And so,
but if I know I have a guy that can get me there, win double-digit games in the league, it doesn't matter who you play. Like, you can't build a tougher schedule in the NFL. Like, it's there.
I get that.
Your division, find a way. Just like Tampa Bay got in and beat a Philadelphia team that was scuffling. Like, if the Cowboys put Philadelphia in the first round, it would have been different.
Fair enough, but they did.
Like, things happen.
But they did. Yeah.
So, I'm just talking about.
Yeah.
I'm separating the hot take of Dak can't win games versus how do I build a football team with what I have.
I find it just to be such a dicey, uncomfortable situation, because I think you're right. I think the answer is you have to re-sign this quarterback, and I'm re-signing him knowing I don't believe I can win with him, but I'm giving him $50 million a year. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 of the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I give you the business. Touch down and pay you a visit.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burquerque. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh? I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom. Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom. Boom.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations.
The Sports Animal. You know, it's such a good conversation in regards to the Cowboys because, JJ, I agree with you. They got a good quarterback. I don't think he's great, but I mean, you're right. You don't move on from somebody. What's your solution? You got to build a better team around him. But I look around. Okay, they're good here. They're good here. They're good here. They need to get better here. It's like anybody else. Yeah. But you're in a position now where quarterback's going to say, I want top 4 quarterback money, and he's not a top 4 quarterback, and you almost have no choice but to pay him.
Absolutely a challenge when you're having these conversations with the quarterbacks, and then where he falls, the cap number, it's a trickle-down effect, and that affects everything else. But if
Prescott,
you think Dak Prescott is good, but you ain't that guy, cut him right now.
Matthew, you want to talk about the Cowboys? Good morning, Matthew. You're on the Sports Animal. How you doing?
I'm doing great, fellas. How you doing?
Good. What's happening?
Well, now Dak was in the top 5 finalists for MVP this year, right?
Dak was. Yeah, he was.
Yes, he was. And I mean, I don't know as much about football as everyone in the NFL, but I'm pretty sure that everyone in the NFL said he was top 10 quarterback. But also, the worst thing about the Cowboys fans, I'm one of them, but the worst thing, they're not as obnoxious as Eagle fans, but they're less knowledgeable. The Cowboys would score 42 points, lose by 3, and their fans will blame the quarterback, which is ridiculous. It happens all the time. But, and I agree with you. He's not perfect, but, every time he goes into the playoffs, every year they lose, but winning in the NFL is the hardest thing in American professional sports because you don't play 17 games. And you have one bad game, you're done. But I'm pretty sure he hasn't played horrible in every playoff game. He sent Tom Brady off to his retirement and played pretty well year before this one. But yeah, it's difficult to win in the NFL, and if you have everything firing, it's a lot easier. And they had nothing firing against Green Bay.
Nothing.
Thanks,
Thanks, Matthew. Look, that's where it matters, and that's kind of where it comes down to, right? What did you do when it matters, and that's how you're judged. And that it's a big deal. Davidson on Dak. Cowboys would have to build a defense like the 85 Bears or the early 2000s Ravens to cover for Dak's playoff performance, as well as change their philosophy to run the ball 70% of the time. The problem is the ownership believes in him. The coach's philosophy is to feature a quarterback throwing 50 times a game. They will never do anything more than win a wild card weekend game with this group. Also, it's going to be hard to build, quotes, around him since he's sucking up all the cap money. They'd be better to grab a solid quarterback that's not getting paid $60 million a year and really build the dominant defense and dominant offensive line. It's from David. That's the other philosophy. To your point, get rid of him. Go get a Justin Fields.
And we say it like it's easy to do. Like everyone is doing what San Francisco did. Nope.
You got to hit, man.
Like if you can't win in the NFL paying a good quarterback money, get out of this league. Because that's an excuse for everyone. Lamar Jackson makes too much money. Oh, now Joe Burrow's probably going to too much money. Josh Allen makes too much money. If you can't build a team when you know the most important position is quarterback and you're paying good quarterbacks and people want to lose their mind over quarterbacks getting paid, leave the league. It's your job. Some of these guys might make a little bit more than you think they're worth because we're caught up on that word elite. And if you're not elite, you don't deserve a contract. Like, dudes are going to make money that can throw a football good. But everyone wants to throw these guys aside, and you show me what's better. There's opportunities, right? There's chances. Someone's going to come up. You're going to have, wow, where did this guy come from? I get it.
Like Brock Purdy.
Right? But Brock Purdy stepped into They had that team.
Yeah, they did.
And sometimes you can do it the other way. I think Dallas is a good enough quarterback to make that team better. You've seen it. You know the deficiencies. You know what's holding them back. And Dak Prescott wasn't great. He was also playing from behind immediately.
How about the way the Lions did it? How about the way the Lions? I mean, like if I asked you 2 years ago, who's a better quarterback? Who do you want for the next 5 years, Jared Goff or Dak Prescott? You laugh at me for asking the question, right? Now, who do you want for the next 3 years? You want Dak Prescott or you want Jared Goff?
But I also think it flipped because of the team.
And that's kind of where I was going with this. So that's what David's saying is, all right, what if you, let me just throw something at you. You did Justin Fields. Or Kirk Cousins too expensive. You're not doing Kirk Cousins, right? And Russell Wilson's not good. But I'm not necessarily advocating for this. But to his point, you did Justin Fields. You got 2 more years on rookie number. You're not going to have to pay him the $60 million, even when you whatever. It's not that easy just to go out and sign all these studs on defense. It's not.
Free agency doesn't flip teams the way people think it is. You have to be able to draft. And if you're Dallas, you look and say, they have their draft picks. They have foundational pieces. Like, they need better players around Michael Parsons. Because Michael Parsons is good. He's not doing it by himself. And that's what I just think is crazy in this situation is we've been hit over the head with football, right? When you have a good young quarterback, that's the time to win. You have a good young quarterback, that's the time to win. How many rookies just won the Super Bowl? Or quarterbacks like on a rookie contract recently that won the Super Bowl?
That won it? I can't.
Right?
They've been in it. They've been there.
Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, been there.
Brock Purdy, yeah, they've been there. Yeah, they haven't won it because it's been Mahomes and Stafford. And yeah, they're not winning it. They're getting there though. And
what came first?
What do you mean? What came first?
Like with these guys. And so that's one. If you want to say, hey, how good do you think the Cowboys are versus Dak Prescott? And so if you say, just get a young quarterback in there. Is that team close with a young quarterback?
All right, we'll do Red Zone at 9 o'clock. Coming up next, the latest Jerry Palm CBS bracket came out this morning. Where the Lobos, what Colorado State do with their loss, where Nevada move, and the Saudis aren't happy just owning golf. They're not quite coming after the NFL yet. Although, when do they own the... am I kidding? I don't even know if I am. But the Saudis are taking over another global sport. That is next. Hey, your vehicle is dirty. I got it. So is mine. The wind was bad for it. Winter was bad for it. Time to call On the Spot Automotive Detailing and have them take care of that. Have them come to you and detail your vehicle. They come to you at your office, at your home, wherever it works for you. You don't take it to them. And they detail your vehicle. What does that even mean? They clean it inside and outside and under the hood and around the rims and like detail, like the day you took it off the lot clean, like brand new feeling clean. Remember that, how fun it was to get in your vehicle? The way it smelled, the way it looked. You started, you take it away. You didn't just throw your gum wrappers down. Remember, you were real careful. You threw them away. That's what this is. It's a great gift and it's a great way to protect one of your biggest investments. On the Spot Automotive Detailing was awarded Best in the City for 2023 because they're reliable and they're efficient. They are the best at what they do, and you can partake in their goods. Well, everything they do, you're going to be thrilled with. Go look at them. It's otsdetailing.com. You can book and buy online. On the Spot Automotive Detailing at otsdetailing.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride barbecue chicken and ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh? I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom. Sweet? Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Jerry Palm's got 6 teams in from the Mountain West. Claudia. Well, he still has 6 teams in from the Mountain West. The new bracket is out this morning. He's still got the Lobos as a 10 seed. He moved Nevada off of the 8 line to the 7 line after their win last night. Without Keenan Blackshear, Jared Lucas hits a half-court shot at the buzzer. Nevada wins at Colorado State. Colorado State didn't budge, JJ. They have lost 4 of their last 5. They're still on the 6th line. It's an interesting draw that he's got them having against Indiana State and then probably Alabama.
It's a credit to the Mountain West. And in this moment, this league is getting the benefit that we've seen so many power leagues get, where people start screaming, how is this possible? Look what they've done. You know, it's biased. Write it right now, because the Mountain West computers love the conference, and these are good basketball teams.
I think that's the key, too. It's really that simple. Here's what he's got right now in the Mountain West. San Diego State is a 3 seed. He's got Utah State. What do you have him as a 5? Where the hell's Utah State? I know they were there somewhere. How did I miss them? I think he's had him as a 5 seed. 5 seed. Boise State is an 8. I'm sorry, Colorado State is a 6. Nevada is a 7. Boise State is an 8. And New Mexico still hanging on and not having to play in the first 4 right now. He's got him as a 10. Lenardi on ESPN with their bracketology came out. This was yesterday, and had New Mexico as one of the last 4 teams in. So, all right. Saudi's own Live. They're buying golf. This came out this morning. Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund, the group that's got the Live Tour, and the Men's Professional Tennis Tour have agreed to a 5-year partnership. It includes naming rights for the ATP rankings. So the ATP already had a deal that placed its next-gen ATP Finals. It's a tournament for players 21 and under in Saudi Arabia for the next bunch of years. The arrangement, which was announced today, includes courtside branding for the PIF at the season-ending ATP Finals and tournaments in around the world. This is... I'm trying to get a grasp on this, what it means. So they are taking over the rankings. Saudi Prince Mohammed bin Salman has worked to get himself out of international isolation since the killing, as you know, of Jamal Khashoggi, and this is the whole what people are calling sports washing, right? But this is something big, man. This is what's next. And DC, you ran this over to us. You found this. How big do you think this deal is on an international thing? Is this just a sponsorship, or are they taking over running this thing? Because when you put a big enough sponsorship in, I think we all know you have a say in how it's run.
And I'm trying to dig more on that to see exactly what it means, because it's a good question. You know, just owning the rankings, what does that actually mean? I do think it's a big deal, though. Tennis, huge sport, tons of money in it, huge sponsorships. This feels like a very slippery slope right here. And it feels like it ends with them running it. So I don't know. I saw this and I hadn't heard anything about it leading up to it, and then suddenly they just take over. It's just wild to me.
There were a lot of big names advocating against this. Chris Evert, Martina Navratilova, they were among those who urged the WTA to stay out of Saudi Arabia. Billie Jean King advocated for the engagement to do this. So there were a lot of voices, a lot of legendary voices who were vocal about this. Obviously, it's going to put a lot more money in the game. The players are going to get a lot more money. Do you care where your money comes from?
Nope.
I think we're kind of past that, aren't we? John Rahm got $300,000. You think he cares where it comes from? They're just going to keep pulling this money out of the ground. That happened today. Red Zone, we come back. What are we doing today on the Red Zone? I know you gave that to me. State of the Union. Ooh. The most intriguing, tightest, weirdest division in the NFL. It's next. It's the National Football League's Red Zone. You're listening to the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck, along with DC on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Get into the sink on the offense. Here's Renfro.
Renfro throws up a wild one and scores.
So turning potential lemons into lemonade is Archuleta. Steverson pulls up from deep. Are you kidding?
Oh, he's going to go up with it. No good. Too strong. Loose ball. Going to get kicked right into the hands of Jackson. Here comes Mitchell. Mitchell puts that one in. A little bit of a baby dunk, but
Drive, looking to spin. Blocked from behind by Creighton Johnson. 3-on-2 for Sandia. Thomas Adams goes all the way, and he's fouled.
Look out, layup.
Lund
There
in
we
transition,
go.
get out the phone, slam dunk, David Lund.
Comes Dyer. Dyer is going to get that one absolutely sent back.
A floater from 5 feet. Stolen away. Steverson. Here comes the money. Dunk.
And that could be a dangerous thing for El Dorados. That's just going to be stolen by Chavez, and he's going to put that one down.
Pius 30, Highland 26, Lincoln on the inbound. Lincoln going to try to get to the three-point line. He steps back, puts up the three. Yes! At the buzzer, Jesus Lincoln. McConnell stops his dribble under 5 seconds. Stolen away by Hernandez. Hornets on the move. Hernandez going to get the shot up, and it goes at the buzzer. Back-to-back buzzer beaters for Highlands.
Looking to find some space. He does. Puts it up with the right hand. No, Steverson.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh? I got this, Dwight. I'm the dead.
Where you're waking up, and it felt like March with the buzzer beaters and what they meant last night. Max Strus in the NBA, Jared Lucas for Nevada. A huge game in the Mountain West last night. I think it secures Nevada in the tournament for sure. It would have been beneficial to the Lobos if Nevada loses at Colorado State and or Wyoming would have beaten UNLV, but neither happened. 4 road teams win in the Mountain West last night. The only home team to win was San Diego State, and it all gets tighter with 3 slots on the schedule left, if that makes sense. This weekend, next midweek, and then the following weekend. So we're here for you on the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, and DC, 505-246-0610. We'll get more into what it all meant on the hoops side. JJ's got a big women's game tonight. Lobo women at San Diego State in the pit this evening, 6:30 pregame and 7 o'clock tip.
Come on out, $5 bench seats.
How about that? How about going out and watching? They're a pretty fun little team to. Well, I said little team.
Yeah,
they're a fun team to watch.
They're competitive. They play hard every single game, and it's just a constant. Every time I talk with Coach Bradbury, he says he likes coaching this team because they don't get too high, they don't get too low. And this is a team that, on the road last week, they go 3 for 21 in the first quarter against Boise State. And they have a lead in the final minute, chance to win that game. They go 2 for 11 at Wyoming in the first quarter and come back and find a way to win the game. What they do.
Yeah, no, this is a really, really good team and a big game tonight against San Diego State. 7 o'clock at the pit, $5 to get in there.
$5.
And $5.
Men aren't playing.
Here's your chance.
Give the women a chance. And even on Saturday, because the men's game doesn't tip off till 6, and it's half-price tickets everywhere on Saturday for the final home game of the regular season, except premium seats.
Get out there and enjoy it.
Watching ball.
Yeah.
Come join us.
All right. Big calendar time. Big time on the calendar for the NFL. So much going on with the combine and free agency and salary cap wrangling and everything. It is a little red zone time for you in the National Football League.
How much you want to make a bet I can throw a football over the mountains?
Are you crazy? I'm saying you're a football player.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to Tom Brady this thing.
You're in the red zone with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Let's go, baby!
It's 1st and goal.
All right, we continue our trip. Bear me. Yes, we continue our trip around the league for the NFL State of the Union. Today we stop in the NFC South. So let's go over to Tampa Bay. The Buccaneers won the division at 9-8. They have $43 million in cap space, the 26th pick, but they have big questions with future Hall of Famers Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans.
Wait! What'd you just say to me?
Oh, did I say that? No. Let's talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
You win. Future Hall of Famer Baker Mayfield.
You like I slipped that in?
Why, for like best commercials or what? Like future what? Oklahoma Hall of Fame?
Just Hall of Fame of being a great dude.
Everybody on this list is going to kind of be right, because that's what you feel. What'd you tell me? $47 million in cap space.
43.
They got to figure out what they're doing with Mike Evans. I think they figured out what they're doing at quarterback. Baker Mayfield's their guy. They're fine. I think they may take it. I wouldn't be surprised if they took a shot somewhere down the line at quarterback. But they got way bigger issues. Let's do something with that defense. They just cut Shaquille Barrett. He's no longer there. And so I think they got to shore up their defense. Mike Evans, I believe they're going to find a way to come back just because he's such a franchise favorite. They got to find a go-to back. They got to be better on the offensive line. They've got to be better in the defensive secondary. They
just want a playoff game.
Yeah, and they won a playoff game. And as you just told me, it was all because of matchups, right? Because they played a team that was sinking. And so to that conversation that we had, they're fine with their quarterback. They're not struggling with a quarterback. They got to pay top 4
money.
They played
well in their second playoff game.
And they played well in their second playoff game. I think they're on the rise, and I think they've got pieces, and if they're probably a half a tick ahead of everybody else in this division.
I'll tell you what's going to happen, Jeff. Baker Mayfield's going to get paid, and then we're going to sit here after they win 9 games.
Go, why the hell they pay him so much?
And we're going to be screaming that Baker Mayfield can't play quarterback. They paid him too much money, and thus they can't build a roster. Because we can't get out of this hole as football fans in the way we talk about this game. But what Tampa Bay needs to do is 4-year deal for Baker Mayfield with an out at the end.
At about what, $40 million a year?
Probably going to be $45 million a year for Baker Mayfield. It's the NFL, man. They're making $1 bajillion. If you can throw a football good enough, you're going to get paid. and negotiate an extension with Antoine Winfield in the secondary, your safety, so he can be your Swiss Army knife playmaker, and then that leaves a franchise tag for Mike Evans. Mike Evans might be pissed off, but he's 31 years old. You're going to get a boatload of money, over $20 million in a franchise tag, and that's how you handle this offseason. You lock in your quarterback, you get Antoine Winfield extended, use the franchise tag with Mike Evans, and go from there.
2nd and goal.
I really like that, JJ. Very clear plan. Makes a lot of sense. That was a good one.
Hire me.
Yeah. There you go, right there. If not president, offensive coordinator. All
More
right.
days off.
4 days off, absolutely. Okay, so let's take a trip down south to New Orleans. They're about $24 million over the cap right now, which they are working on. They've got the 14th overall pick. They have questions with Jameis and Michael Thomas. So let's check in on the New Orleans Saints.
You can answer the question on Jameis Winston. Yes. Peace out, bro. Have fun being a back quarterback somewhere else. We all have these things we lean on. Like Jeff, not bought in on Dak Prescott. I'm the same way Dennis Allen. What's that dude doing? How's that dude still have a job? When has Dennis Allen showed me anything as an NFL head coach that you want to believe in what he is doing? And the Saints, I look down, and they were 9-8 last year. I think they're going to be 7-8 win team next season. We'll get an average Derek Carr that will have his moments, and I don't see anything that excites me on the Saints roster. Michael Thomas is a free agent. He's moved on. Chris Olave, fantastic, like him. But it's, to me, that's when we'll get to the team at the very end, I think the Saints have one of the lowest ceilings in the NFL.
You know, it's interesting. I'm kind of with you on their head coach. As far as Michael Thomas and Jameis, I think they both leave. But I feel a little differently. I think that Derek Carr, who played a lot better in the second half, I think that's the Derek Carr I need to see for a full year. Now, why did it take him so long? They played without Alvin Kamara for the first 3 games, but he was back plenty of times. I still think he's as dynamic and versatile a back as there is in the NFL. Maybe dynamic's not the right word. Versatile. I think they got a really good back, and I really like Olave. I think their defense is nice. And so I look at them and say, I disagree with you and say they got the lowest ceiling. Or is that what you said, lowest ceiling in that division? I disagree with
I think they're one of the least exciting teams in there.
And I look at it differently. I look at if they keep Matthew and Lattimore in the backside, and they've got guys like Granderson up front. I actually really like what they do defensively. I think if Derek Carr can become the Derek Carr of the second half, this is the best team as we sit here today. Now, it might not be when we go to camp. I think this should be the best team in this division. I think they've got weapons. I think when they get rid of, and they will clear that cap space, I look at them and say, damn, why did they underachieve? And that's where, to your point, your first point, I got to look at the head coach and say, this team should have been way better.
3rd and goal.
All right. Now, here's a team we're going to talk about quite a bit over the next few weeks, if not longer. The 7-10 Atlanta Falcons. They've got a little over $40 million in cap space. They've got a top 10 pick. They also have 5 wide receivers currently as free agents. So what do you expect from the Atlanta Falcons?
It's the biggest unknown because you just don't know what their quarterback situation is going to be. I mean, they could go probably 5 different ways, right? They could be in the Kirk Cousins sweepstakes. They could be in the Justin Fields conversation. They could be in the conversation to trade up for 2 of the 3 quarterbacks, right? Or they could sit where they are and be in the quarterback situation there. So this is the biggest I don't know because of quarterback. I think they're okay defensively. I look at their 5 free agent receivers and go, okay, the only one I really like is Drake London anyway. So I'm not worried about that. Bijan Robinson, I think, will be good. Kyle Pitts, I don't know. The biggest unknown, because I don't know what they're going to do at quarterback, and I hear 5 different scenarios that kind of make sense to me.
Yeah, this is the team I'm excited about, the potential they have at 8. I would love if Justin Fields landed in Atlanta, if you lock that in with a 2nd-round pick. But, yeah, of course, kick the tires on Kirk Cousins coming right away. By the way, there's videos this week of Kirk Cousins throwing 4 months removed from his Achilles injury. He was out there actually on a clay surface. Might have even been concrete. He was on a tennis court. I don't know why he was on a tennis court, but that's where he was. He was throwing football, dropping back on that Achilles injury, so that makes you feel confident. But Drake London, I'm with you. He's locked in. He's your number one. Bijan Robinson is good. Tyler Algier is still there. They hit on free agency last year on the defensive end. James Bates, stud safety. So they kind of have those foundational pieces. They have a really good offensive line. And so if I'm Atlanta, I would like to fill my quarterback position with Kirk Cousins, Justin Field.
You like that better than any of the rookies?
Yeah, because I don't see any scenario. Like, I do not think it's good business, and this is a different conversation, for any of those teams in the top 3 to trade down. Like, I do not think that makes sense for any of those teams. Even the Patriots, like, go take a high quarterback pick. Move on. But for Atlanta, because then if I get Kirk Cousins, Justin Fields, whoever it may be, I'm sitting there at 8. I'm taking the second best wide receiver that's left after Marvin Harrison Jr. goes.
That's
got my offense.
The young man out of Washington.
So it's Roma Duzne,
Yeah.
Malik Neighbors, one of those guys sitting there at 8. I'm going with Drake London, that Bijan Robinson, my quarterback. Let's go.
4th and goal.
Did I stutter?
Hear me.
I love that. All right, finally, the Carolina Panthers. They went 2-15. They had the number 1 overall, but now it's going to Chicago. They had a very good defense, but 14 out of their 17 free agents are all defensive players. So going into Bryce Young's second year, let's talk about the Carolina Panthers.
Bryce Young's in a no-win situation because that dude C.J. Stroud exists. If they one pick after him, he's never going to get over that, and he's not.
Unless he wins, and he's not going to win.
They have to insulate him in that team. And defensively, you mentioned all those players. Brian Burns, the edge rushers, probably get the franchise tag. They don't work out a long-term deal with him, and then you just have to sit there and say, what can you do around Bryce Young? He's not getting any bigger. That's who he is. So how do you win games with Bryce Young at quarterback?
Yeah, I just, it was my most uncomfortable situation probably in the NFL. I drafted a quarterback that I'm trying so hard to believe in him, and I got eyes. And so it's hard to believe in. He looked undersized. He looked, dare I say, just not good enough to play and be a long-term quarterback in the NFL. Now, it was a 1-year deal. He had 2 different head coaches. Now he's got a third. What are their weapons? Their best receiver was Adam Thielen. He's a nice receiver, man. He doesn't have weapons. Yeah, their defense was fine, but they're all, to your point, how many of them are coming back? So what's their cap space? They got to have cap space, right?
About $36 million.
That's not even that much. Who's going there? To me, this is. I don't know. Give me a worse situation in the NFL than they're in right now.
Not many.
I want to find ways to say, yeah, no, this is encouraging. I just don't see it. Bear me.
Beer me is right. Yeah, they are in a tough spot. I guess the silver lining is their defense is something that they can build on, but they've got a long way to go on.
Oh, and by the way, they traded away the 1st round pick, and it was number 1 overall for a quarterback that just looks like. I don't know. Tell me what you see, because I feel about him the way I feel currently about Russell Wilson. I just don't see it.
Well, I see a lot more in Russell Wilson than I do
Okay.
Bryce Young, for
All right.
even this next 2 years.
All right. How does that make you feel about the guy that you spend all that capital on?
Not good.
And he's your number
Not
1
good.
pick? Yeah. Brutal. I don't know. That's why I said, give me a worse situation. I don't have one. I don't even know what borders it, to be honest with you. Everybody else, there's some optimism. There's something. Arizona's got some optimism. They played better. They got Kyler Murray. The Bears have the 1st pick. Teams that you think are bad. Tennessee's got a struggling situation. But Washington, no, they got the 3rd overall pick, brand new staff. They got some players.
What about New England?
Yeah, New England is interesting, but they got the 3rd pick, and they're going to go get a good young quarterback that probably is going to be better than this guy who was number 1. They had a nice defense. New England had a good defense. These guys do too, but they're all going somewhere. Somebody's got to have the worst, I guess, and to me, it's them. Give me a reason for optimism if you're like Carolina. That's what I thought. You want me to get my buddy Jeff Rickard on, who runs a radio station in Carolina, and ask him this week? We can do that.
Probably about have a similar response. I mean, it's just crickets. What are you going to do? There's just so many things to fix there.
Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610. Your correspondence is coming in. Get in on any of that. I got, a lot of you on the NFL stuff. I'll read you some of what you're saying about quarterbacks, Dak, Deshaun Watson. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
The Mountain West is red hot, but only one team.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated,
Rip,
plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Team licking so big wounds. I predict a huge win for the Lobos on Saturday. Okay. JJ, this one says Cowboys have a mediocre person at the quarterback position, although they're paying him like he's the best quarterback in the league. They need, capital NEED, to draft another quarterback.
paying him right now like he's the best quarterback.
No, but they'll be paying him top 5 money. And this plays into that. This says what the Browns did by upsetting the quarterback market value has been and will continue to be bad for the league because all quarterbacks are so overpaid. The rest of the roster suffers. $40 million for Baker Mayfield. Are you freaking kidding me? Market value. And look, it's a different world than you and I live in, man. A different world. But that's market value, right?
It is. And the salary cap went up. And so a $40 million quarterback is manageable.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, that's
So
manageable.
it's the world they live in.
Yeah, but that is manageable. All right, we told you the Saudi PIF, Public Investment Fund, bought into the ATP Tennis Tour 5-year sponsorship deal that includes the rankings. Jeffrey wants to talk about that. Good morning, Jeffrey.
Yeah, and by the way, I think Adam Smith in Wealth of Nations called market value the invisible hand of the marketplace, meaning it established its own market equilibrium. Isn't that interesting?
Well, it does. I mean,
Anyway.
and no matter what it is you're talking about, whether it's real estate, whether it's for broadcasters, whether it's for whatever you do, and quarterbacks is included in that, market value, it does. It establishes itself.
Yeah, and he called it the invisible
I
hand.
get that.
And because that's how, like if you're in a mercado in Mexico and you've got 59 people selling blankets and one's overpriced and one's underpriced, there's going to be an equilibrium based on the comparables in one contextual place where people buy and sell.
And it'll get there itself.
And that's,
yeah.
that's the invisible hand that Adam Smith wrote. Curiously, he wrote that in 1776, the same year Jefferson wrote the Declaration of Independence. But I digress. So I'm probably in the minority because I'm one of the, probably few folks that care about tennis on your listenership. But I think it's important anyway because, Djokovic is, in my opinion, the greatest tennis player of all time. You can argue that perhaps, a few others are in his realm. But the reason I'm calling is if the Middle Eastern oligarchy, ends up affecting the rankings, well, that affects the seedings. And unless they understand how that works and use the same calculations that the ATP does or the Tennis Association, it could mean the difference between Djokovic being a third seed, a second seed, whatever. And for us tennis buffs, that's the difference between San Francisco getting a wild card game versus, the 49ers getting a bye or something like that. So it could have great effect. Further, when you have Billie Jean King and these other older Chris Everett, folks like that, particularly the women, they're going to have a bias because keep in mind, they weren't paid equal purses to men until relatively speaking very recently. So they have a tremendous negative bias toward ATP or the Tennis Association because women were treated extraordinarily unfairly until recently. They weren't even given the same hotel accommodations and things like that. So again, I'm not here to promote women's rights one way or the other, but I do believe in justice, and some of that bias is going to play on people like Chris Everett and others who were treated pretty badly back in the late 60s, early 70s. As for the Cowboys, very briefly, I'm a big Cowboy fan unapologetically, but I noted this year when the Cowboys played against better competition, I mean, they were annihilated by the 49ers. Yep. They got beat by the Dolphins, and they were beaten pretty substantially by the Bills. So when they played better competition, i.e. the playoffs, because by default you're playing better teams, the Cowboys just didn't do well because the regular season demonstrated that they weren't going to do very well against better teams. So anyway, whatever that means. Thanks, guys.
No, it's good. And that's kind of been the argument, right? It's been the argument. What did they do? I mean, it's great to pile up numbers. And I'm not going to argue with you. Caleb Williams, the USC guy, somewhat the argument against him. They didn't win games against the better teams. They piled up numbers, but what did they do? They didn't. Can he win? That's kind of, that's the conversation there. Your point's right. I've come around to your side. What are the Cowboys going to do? Are they going to start over? Are they going to scrap a quarterback? They're not. They're going to pay Dak and hope that he figures out how to win when it really, really matters.
So even paying a quarterback, whether it's Dak Prescott or not, you have to invest in that team. And so if you're telling me that don't think the Cowboys are that squad, but you want them to move on from Dak Prescott and be a worse football team, but though that quarterback will be on a young contract, and then you'll what? Sign a bunch of free agents. It's not really how it works. You still have to draft and develop, but you can draft and develop while having a quarterback can be successful. And does he have to be better? Yes.
All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Your emails this morning, Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com, JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. Dan says, reply to Juan Jose, Jeffrey and DeForest Clem. You down with that? DeForest Clem? The reason we distrust the computer, we're talking college basketball, and there's been, why is Colorado State, why is San Diego State, whatever, why are they so high on the computers? The reason we distrust computers is, the ACC is getting 8 to 9 teams in. I'm not convinced, despite the talking heads screaming at me, the Mountain West is getting more than 2 to 3 teams. It's from Dan. Dan, I'll bet you lunch that the Mountain West gets more than 3 teams. I'll bet you lunch. They are. They got 4 last year. I think they're getting 5, but I'll bet you on that. And I get it. It's always been slandered. Look, you had Feinbaum. What's his first name? The mouth of the South?
Paul Feinbaum.
Paul Feinbaum. On ESPN, scream about football that the group of 5 does not deserve a spot in the college football playoff. On this station yesterday, I was driving in, and the national show. What is it? Maggie and Perloff before us, right? And the guy was talking about defensive player of the week, and it was Jaden Ledee. And Perloff says, "Why don't you tell me about someone that people care about?" I'm like, "Really, dude? Because your ass is asleep every time that the 20th ranked team in the country, the team that played in the national championship game, is on TV."
The league that is making your sports network relevant.
100%, the league that's making your network relevant. But because, and that's where this comes from, and that's where Dan's distrust comes from, because the screaming heads, as much as they'll tell you during this, the Mountain West is very good, Clyde, they're very good, and then they'll scream that you should get a 16 and 14 ACC team or a Big Ten team. I get Dan's distrust, but when you hear that crap, like when I was listening to that yesterday, I'm like, really, dude? Whatever, some Fresno State guy. No, he's a San Diego State guy. So he just told you. Yeah, whatever, he says. Like, I don't know, the team that earned their way, that beat Alabama and beat Creighton and beat all those teams that earned their way into the national championship game and damn near won a national championship. But they're like, yeah, whatever, nobody cares. And that's where the whole East Coast bias, that's where this comes from.
Big country, open your mind.
Yeah, it's a big country, Claudia. No, dude, when I heard that yesterday, I'm like, how do you get a national
those
show?
are the things I want to throw something through my radio.
Well, but CBS Sports, almost more to me than ESPN, has this East Coast regional, there's nothing west of, never mind the Mississippi River, it's like the Hudson River. Right? I mean, there's nothing west of New York City. And
yeah, it's just rocks.
It's just rocks, Scott. It's just rocks. Ain't nothing live out there.
Dirt
but
and
rocks. The guy told me that time. There ain't nothing live out there but rocks. No, I know. That's what he told me. Wait, where you guys live?
They
Where
probably
you
still
from
think
now?
we ride horses.
100%.
Saloons.
Just got some shoes. Running Water's coming next week.
Yeehaw!
DC, when I was working for the governor and I went to Orlando to AAU national headquarters, we're working on bringing a national AAU basketball tournament. So girls, U15, U16, we had all the places lined up. And sent the guy, talked to him on the phone, sat in his office. Bobby Dodd ran AAU, biggest amateur athletic association in America. Now where y'all want to do this? And that's when I'm like, oh, we have a chance. Albuquerque, New Mexico, sir. He's like, New Mexico? Yes, sir. Where like Colorado or no? They said, where are you doing the Colorado, Arizona? No, sir, New Mexico. Between Texas and Arizona, below Colorado. And he kind of looked at us with this blank stare. And I swear to you, he said this to me. Ain't nothing to live out there but rocks. That's what he said. I'm like, all right, thank you for your time. We obviously did not get the term. But that's what people think, man. Ain't nothing to live out there but rocks.
You say, sorry, sir, I got to catch my train ride back home.
Yeah, no, my stagecoach. My horse is outside. My bug out. I'll be home.
They're at the watering hole. I'm going to go get them.
Yeah, I'll be home in 10 days. I like literally, and we send him. I mean, here's the hotels, here's the gyms, we got here's the airport, how far it is from the airport, the rental car. I mean, like everything we had set up, like everything from venues to hotels to transportation to everything. And he didn't look at it because ain't nothing live out there but rocks. And that's what sometimes when I listen to these networks and ours, like CBS Sports Net or CBS Sports Radio, sometimes, like and ESPN's guilty of that as well. Sometimes it's like there's nothing there. And a year like this, where this league is beating people, and this league sent a team to the national championship game. And you know who didn't get to the Final Four last year? Big 10, Big 12, SEC, Pac-12. None of them got there last year. I don't know. I'm off my soapbox. But, I mean, you're not a college guy as much. Do you sense that, or is that just an oversensitivity?
No, I absolutely sense that. I think you're 100% right. It is amazing how that time difference, like they kind of forget. Like California is a big place. It's a lot of teams, a lot of action.
Last I checked, it was the most populated state in the union, is it not? I mean, California, that San Diego State team, Carter, that's very good, Carter. It's a big country, Carter. All right, 505-246-0610. I'm off. Well, I'm probably not off my soapbox. That one's going to be hard to get off my soapbox. You know what I mean? It's a big country, Carter. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Hour.
The Mountain West is red hot.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. and my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent,
they're so fatalistic. Look, if we'd have played the defense like we should have, and we give up 66 points to Air Force like we did to Colorado State, then we would have won the game. And the hardest thing to do is play defense when you're fatigued. We played an emotional game Wednesday night. You got to give them a day off Thursday. They practice Friday and they play Saturday. So it was the perfect storm, and Air Force was going to jump up and beat somebody. But the proposition that the UNM season's over and they're not going to the NCAA tournament is equally ridiculous, as is the proposition that we can't win in Boise. And I've said it all year. Good teams don't lose 2 games in a row, so let's see how good this team is.
I 100% agree that it's not over. And they've got so many opportunities in front of them. I think they bounce back against Boise State. I do. I'm a little concerned on the House thing, and I know you probably more than you are, just because of the stuff that I'm hearing that I didn't see. And I'm really, really careful just to buy into stuff that I hear, because I don't have any backup on it. I don't have any validity to it. I haven't been able to verify it. All I do know is I'd have felt a lot better if Jalen House was in the game in the last few minutes.
I would have too, but it's just the way it worked out, and who knows what that whole dynamic is.
Right.
But I don't think there's any rift, and I don't think there's anything going on. I think it was just a very frustrating day and a very frustrating loss. And I think that might be what people are trying to extrapolate out. We'll see. I mean, I don't see Jalen House going in the tank, and I don't see this team going in the tank, and I certainly don't see Richard Pitino going in the tank. In fact, I was joking with somebody, and I said, actually, this is the best thing that ever happened, because that means he stays at least one more year. So look at the bright side, people.
There you go. That's how you're keeping your coach? Yeah, that's fair enough. All right, man.
Whatever it takes, right?
Appreciate you. All right.
Yeah.
505-246-0610. I mean, we'll see. I think there's a really good shot they win in Boise. How do you bounce back? This is a good team, man. This is a good team. I had a bad day.
Yeah, and there's a little too much, what if about it. If they held them, they didn't. They lost that game. What I'm frustrated about is not, the way it was for 34 minutes or 36 minutes. 4.5 minutes, you're up by 5. You have to find a way to win that game at that point in time. I don't care you're not up by 15 points, you're not blown up by 30. You have to find a way to win the game, like San Diego State did at home.
I agree.
That's what frustrates me, as opposed to teams are going to play hard sometimes. But when you have a lead late at home and you don't close out the game, everything else to get coasting, not prepared, whatever you want to say, it's still you had that opportunity. You couldn't do it at home. That's a mistake.
This is from, where'd it go? It's from Ron. He says, Gooch, Taylor Gooch equals the NCAA tournament. Jeff, in a couple of weeks, I'm going to have the talking heads screaming at me that the number 69 team got screwed. Kind of like yesterday's discussion. Masters champion isn't legit because this says Justin Gooch. It should be Taylor. And that's how much, it just emphasizes it even more. Isn't in the field. Yeah, that's probably right. Like we're going to have that every year. Number 69, 70, 71, they got screwed. They should have been in the field. Taylor Gooch is in the Masters, so somehow it's tainted. Okay. All right. picking the brain of the voice. Jack wants to pick your brain. Jeff, JJ, tell me about this new women's WBI tournament that's moved ahead of the WNIT in the pecking order. It sounds like WNIT is even more pay to play than it was before. You know anything about it?
Well, it's because the NCAA took over the NIT.
Okay.
And I got to believe on the women's side, it's gonna be different too. That's what they're trying to do. On the men's side, put a little bit more emphasis on it, where it's not, as pay to play based for the NIT. Because the WNIT was not a NCAA event.
Okay. Yeah, it's privately owned. All right. Harold will never go to an event. Can I just let you know that? Mm-hmm. Harold is the one. Why are they playing at night? Why are they playing at 8:30? Why are they playing at day? Why are they playing at the same time? And now he's WTFing me about this weekend. Because, Jeff, I've been called to an event I don't want to go to Saturday. But I better attend to maintain domestic tranquility, if you know what I mean. So Saturday, of all days, I need one of these late post times for Lobo basketball has been playing all season. I need an 8:30 to 9 o'clock tip-off. So why are they playing at 6 o'clock? WTH. It's from Harold. How do they not check with Harold's schedule? And by the way, Harold's schedule will change.
I like the fact he's all in on it, though.
He is like, this is his brand, dude. If they're playing at 6, I need them at 9. If they're playing at 9, I got to go to bed. Why the hell aren't they playing at 6?
It's all in.
I got it. I mean, you're not going. You don't care. You don't care. All right, 505-246-0610 is where the texts are coming in. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com and JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. Chiefs cut Marquez Valdez-Scantling today, JJ. They saved $12 million. It's according to Jeremy Fowler, our buddy. This is on the heels of them informing L'Jarius Sneed that they're ready to use the franchise tag on him, the cornerback. And it's a non-exclusive tag. It'll cost him about $19 million. So there's another receiver on the market. This is no surprise. $12 million for Marquez Valdez-Scantling. He's a good, not great receiver. He's a $6 million receiver? Probably not a $12 million receiver. So
yeah, and that's one. It's like the playmaker in the postseason, a guy you could rely on, even if it's just 1 or 2 catches. Valdez-Scantling was able to make a play, but it's still cost-saving moves, and that is a team I'm looking at. Kansas City, they haven't addressed haven't scouted well at wide receiver. Rashee Rice, solid one. Good. They're going to have to hit on another one. They're probably going to have to go cheap again at the wide receiver position.
Rashee Rice put up silly numbers at SMU. Mm-hmm. I mean, like silly numbers on a pretty good team.
Like Sky Moore, not that dude. You look at trade for Kadarius Toney, not that dude.
Tyreek Hill was pretty good.
Yeah, fine. Rashee Rice, Travis Kelce. All base.
Yeah, they found guys. All right, we'll wrap it up when we get back and get you everything you need to know as you go through your Wednesday. Big stuff going on. The National Football League is going to continue to make news. 2 buzzer beaters last night, so we'll wrap you up and kind of arm you for your day when we get back. For years, I've been telling you about IPS, International Protective Service. They protect my home. They protect hundreds of homes and businesses in Albuquerque and Santa Fe. They offer standing guards, 24-hour patrols for your home or business. Albuquerque and Santa Fe. They also install alarms. They've been installing alarms for a while, and they want to remind you, if you don't have an alarm, you're more likely to be a victim of break-in. They also have a technology team. They install alarms and cameras. So the video will be there to help in the investigation. And the video surveillance also discourages bad guys when they see it. IPS will set up your business with access control. The only people authorized to get in are the only ones who will get in. And you can have them monitor your alarm and your cameras. So if they see something or the alarm goes off, they're there within 7 minutes to check it out. IPS provides the manpower and the technology to protect your family, your property, your business. It's a winning combination. Call them at 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420. They're online at ipsglobal.com. IPS is passionate about making Albuquerque a better and a safer place to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
Max Strus in the NBA. It's a 59-footer for the Cavs to beat the Mavericks, 121-119. And a great finish in the Mountain West last night in Fort Collins. Nevada's Jared Lucas, a 92% free throw shooter, misses 3 of 4 free throws down the stretch. Isaiah Stevens for Colorado State ties it up with 2.6 seconds to go. Nevada calls timeout, and Steve Alford said it was Craig Neal who drew up a play, get the ball to Jared Lucas, one dribble, and launch it from just inside the midcourt stripe. Banked it in. Nevada wins at Colorado State 77-74. Lucas had 23, and they did it without their terrific point guard, Keenan Blackshear, who was out. First game he's missed in 2 years. So Nevada goes on the road, gets their 6th quad one victory on the road. They're still in contention for a conference championship, JJ, and they win at Fort Collins, at Colorado State, without Keenan Blackshear. As good a victory, I don't know, is on the road as there's been this year. I mean, it's UNLV coming into the pit. It's you got a better road win. Maybe the Lobos at Nevada, but this one without Keenan Blackshear is as good a win as I can think of in the league this year.
Just based on the circumstances, not having our best player on the floor. It's a fantastic win for Nevada, and shows strength of the Mountain West Conference and why we are looking at really 4 to 6 teams, depending on how the bracket falls. I don't think it's going to be.
I think it's 5. I do.
I do think it will settle there. Just so many factors from someone's going to be cold to finish the season. Hope it's not the Lobos. In this case, other teams are going to get hot. Someone might still bid somewhere.
Elsewhere, BYU snapped Kansas's. I know you love this, DC. Kansas's 19-game home court winning streak. BYU, this is now a Big 12 game, beat Kansas in Lawrence 76-68. It ended the Jayhawks' 71-game home win streak when they led at halftime. 67-game home win streak against unranked teams, and 19-game home win streak overall, which was tied for third longest in the nation. 71 in a row when they were leading at home. All gone. 67 in a row against unranked teams, gone. BYU's nice, by the way. If you haven't checked out a little BYU for your love, that's a really, really nice team. And what are they? They're 20-8, 8-7. That's an NCAA tournament team, right? I know it is. I mean, I know it is. People will also be talking about what happened at Texas Tech. Texas went in there and beat Texas Tech, and the fans were throwing water bottles, not chairs, sitting in their chairs. Sorry, water bottles. It's a riot. Yeah. They were throwing water bottles on the floor, and Rodney Terry, the Texas coach, said, I almost took my team off the court. So you're going to see a whole lot of that. And Shohei Ohtani made his debut for the Dodgers and hit a home run in spring training yesterday. Getting a little spring training? Are you glimpsing at it now and then? I mean, are you a baseball guy?
I'll be at spring training.
Yeah, you will. When are you going?
The 23rd.
You driving out there?
Yes.
Stop at my guy Sammy C's and Gallup on the way.
It is definitely on the schedule.
It's funny. I saw Sammy last week at an event, and he said, I heard you guys were talking about it. Thanks. And we're with somebody who literally, as we're having the conversation, guy came up and said, Sammy, I stopped by your place for the first time. Oh, my goodness, it's everything everybody said it was. Like, you will go through there and go, whoa, and ask Sam if he's there, and tell him who you are.
Yeah, I'll tell him Jeff sent me.
Yeah, Sammy's as good people as there are, but I'm just telling you, that sports bar in Gallup, New Mexico, you, if I'm wrong, call me out on it, but it's as nice, as unbelievable memorabilia as any sports bar you'll be in America.
I'm looking forward to it because I love memorabilia, and I love a good sports bar. So,
yeah,
you've sold me. I'm ready.
It's really good. All right, and then tonight, Lady Lobos in the pit. A big one, 7 o'clock start, 6:30 pregame here on the Sports Animal with the voice of the Lobos, JJ Buck, against San Diego State. JJ, this means a lot. JJ's got a day today, dude. He's doing Lobo women's softball on the Mountain West Network at 1 o'clock, and then he's got to go all the way over to the pit.
Long journey.
Do you leave your car in the same spot?
I probably will.
Yeah, and then he's got Lobo women's basketball tonight, so maybe he'll have a voice tomorrow morning. Yeah, big one at the pit tonight, though.
It's almost March. And when you are coming down the stretch, final 3 games of the regular season, 2 teams tied for second place, Boise State, New Mexico, 10-5. The team that's a game back that beat you the first time, San Diego State, 9-6, coming in.
Yeah, but that was a day game with screaming kids. I mean, that's how you always play San Diego State.
So you always play the Aztecs. Day game with a lot of screaming kids.
Not here. It'll be an evening game, and hopefully with a bunch of fans.
$5 bench seats.
Eat it up. I mean, no Lobo men tonight. It's a Wednesday. All the Mountain West games were played yesterday. And again, in the Mountain West, this is the other thing that people are going to be talking about on the men's side. 5 games last night in the Mountain West. 4 of them were won by the road team, which is insane. The only home team to hold court was San Diego State. They beat San Jose State 72-64. Utah State went on the road, got a Darius Brown 3-pointer to send it into overtime, and then beat Fresno State 77-73 in overtime. Boise State handled Air Force up at Clune 79-48. UNLV went overtime. Wyoming had a chance to win it in regulation. That was a wild ending, too. Did you see the end where they stole the ball and scored? And that was another – I thought UNLV was going to pee that one away. They found a way to get to overtime and then dominated. 75-69. Big win for the Revs.
Absolutely. And right where you want to be if you're UNLV right now?
Tied for third or tied for fourth.
Yep.
Tied for fourth. And that's a bye. They're tied with Nevada, right? And Nevada's got them once, and they'll finish the season up in Reno. And then the other one was in Fort Collins, where Nevada got that 3-pointer from half court by Jared Lucas and beat Colorado State. I'm still going to tell you my favorite quote of all, and it's so Alford of coming out of yesterday. My favorite quote post game. Alfred's talking about how proud he is of his team, and we got 6 quad 1 victories on the road, and we won that. They won the Diamond Head Classic, and it was Alfred. He knew all the stats. He knew where they were in quad 1 and what their record was on the road, and then he also knew this. And he says, and that's why we practice half court shots And I told the guys in the locker room, you may be able to beat Colorado State with that shot, but you can't beat the coaches. We're 17-12 against them in half-court shots. And if you know Alfred at all, he said, that's why we take half-court shots every day after practice. But if you know him at all, the pride of him and Noodles being able to beat the players in half-court shots, and he knows the score. It's 17-12. I mean, he cares about that almost, not as much, but almost as much as beating Colorado State. Don't you think?
Yes.
I promise. I promise. It was my favorite post-game quote of yesterday. All right, tonight you got some NBA stuff and interesting stuff. Nuggets are home. They get Sacramento, and Lakers and Clippers tonight as well. Jerry Palm's with us tomorrow, CBS Sports bracketologist. Boy, oh boy, is it his time of year. Everybody's after him. We got him tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning. Don't miss that, because you're going to want to hear what he says about all these things that are going on in college basketball. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men On is here at 4. JJ is on with Lobo Women's Basketball at 6:30, and then we're back tomorrow morning with award-winning radio starting at 7 in the morning. Adrian, great work. DC, phenomenal. Big day for you.
Huge day.
Have great calls. We'll be listening, and be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing, and we shall smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
For surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.